Hello and welcome to Business as Usual. Today my guest is Sabrina Baggio from Women's Path to Employment and Joshua Alba from Bread and Roses Festival. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Josh, let's just jump in with you. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing down in Lawrence to help improve Lawrence.
Well, I'm the vice president now of the Bread and Roses Heritage Festival, which is a festival celebrating the Great Strike of 1912 that occurred in Lawrence. And the festival celebrates the heritage of the labor and the social justice movement.
Yep. So tell me more. Why'd you get involved, bud?
I got involved because I grew up in Lawrence. There was not a lot of opportunities for me to get involved and figure out what the history was, what my own history was. There was a lot of separation between the cultures and ethnicities and language barriers. And so I was part of a leadership committee called Poder at Lawrence Community Works that, as part of a cultural inclusion thing, because the festival at the time was mostly folky, older people, I forgot the generational name, baby boomers,
Yep.
and trying to keep the festival up to date. And that was back in like 2006, 2007, and I've been there ever since.
Cool. Now, honestly, I've heard of the Bread and Rose Festival, probably from Sabrina telling me about it, to be honest,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about it. So let's talk a little bit more about why the festival happens and what happens at the festival.
Yeah, I really honestly like the festival. It's been my favorite event since I found out about it, because it's so labor and social justice oriented, and so like intellectual, it's activist. We have performers, relevant performers that come through, that rather we organize and invite and pay, ranging from R&B to hip hop to jazz to folk to Americana to rock to Celtic.
So it's a music festival?
It's primarily a music festival,
Yep.
but there's also workshops on how to organize things in local issues in the Merrimack Valley and Lawrence, as well as plenty of food, multi-ethnic food.
Yep.
Labor organizers come there to talk about their issues. There's a whole history and labor section. Kids come through. There's 3 stages. One stage specifically is dedicated to family entertainment, including the kids with jugglers and stuff like that.
So now, when and where is it?
On Labor Day, this year it's September 5th.
Yep.
On the Lawrence Common, on the Campagnon Common,
Yep.
and it takes place from 12 to 5.
Yep. Is there a cost to attend?
It's free, open air, just come in, hang out,
Yep.
attend the workshop. Everything's free aside from if you're gonna buy some arts and crafts or some food.
Sure. Yep.
If you want to volunteer, you could get a food voucher and a t-shirt.
Now, all kidding aside, it sounds like a huge task
Yeah.
to organize it. Talk to me a little bit about the types of skills you're needing to help. How do people get involved, man?
Yeah, so we have several subcommittees. There's like 5 or 6 or so. So you come to our meetings. We meet every Thursday, every third Thursday of the month.
Yep.
Third Wednesday, sorry,
Yeah.
of the month.
As long as Sabrina's paying attention, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Every third Wednesday of the month at 6 o'clock on the 3rd floor of the Lawrence Heritage State Park, which is 1 block away from the Common, and just come with your passion, come with your ideas. There's many facets to making it happen. There's programming, there's logistics, there's volunteer coordination, there's publicity, there's organizing with vendors and finding them, booking, contracting, all this stuff, as well as environmental, making things are green and things are cleaned up, and just contact me and go on the website breadandrosesheritage.org to find out more.
So yeah, like you said, but let's talk about the why, because this is based upon the strike you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about that, because so for people to understand why you're doing it, they need a little bit of the background.
Yeah, so the festival stands as one of the only festivals of its kind in the East Coast, matter of fact, that happens on Labor Day, doing Labor Day stuff. And so it's talking about how we got the 8-hour workday, how we got child labor laws, why you're getting benefits at your workplace because of stuff that happened in Lawrence in the past. And so we're talking about the first wave of immigrants that came to this country that were workers. Everybody was a worker, everybody was poor, getting paid nothing, they were getting hurt on the job, people died, there's all kinds of horrific things that I'm not gonna go into.
Right.
That caused them to fight back. Specifically, there was like a wage decrease where in one of the Lawrence in Lawrence in the textile mills.
Yep, sure.
And it was led by women and children. And they said, no, like, short pay all out. We're out of here. We're not going to get paid. We're not going to get robbed more.
Yep.
And that was part of the founding of the union movement in this country that really progressed this country forward and put pressure on politicians to make our lives better.
Now, is there certain skill sets you're looking for as far as volunteers that can help out?
The biggest skill set is passion for your community, honestly, and just a willingness to learn. And if you have skills already, a willingness to share and to come in. So if you have the passion to talk to performers, that's our popularest thing, to go out, find shows, listen to music, contact the performers and say, hey, like, what do you guys like? What's your music about? Let's talk. Let's talk about fees. What booking arrangements can we make? That it's really fun to do. It's detailed and professional, but it's also very fun, and we could.
Now, is there any type of music you're looking for that you may not have already? Someone watching a show that might be in a band or a musician that may want to get involved? Is there anything you're looking for?
Yeah, specifically for performers, it has to be labor and social justice oriented or community oriented in some way. So like I said before, that we get many genres of music out there, but like it's not mainstream, it's not the popularist thing out there because the mainstream plays to a certain audience.
Sure, yeah.
We're trying to be educating, uplifting, empowering.
So the musicians are playing songs about the labor movement? Is that how it works?
Not 100%.
Yeah.
We try as best as we can with that.
Yep.
But we've had like Sweet Willie D from Haverhill doing the blues and New Orleans kind of stuff, and
cool. Yeah.
it's songs of struggle in general.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense and stuff. So, like I said, so you're just looking for people with passion that are willing to volunteer.
Yeah.
So if people just want to volunteer the day of the event, they may not be able to come and serve on a committee. Do you just have a need for people the day of the event people too?
Yeah, on the day we need over 100 volunteers on the day of. They can sign up on our website again. All that information's on there. But yeah, there's several duties. We ask for people to contribute 1 to 2 hours.
Yep.
And you just come to the info desk. The info tent rather,
sure,
and just ask for where we need help with the volunteer coordinator, and they'll put you in doing something, and then you'll get a food voucher, as well as a T-shirt to take home.
And now you mentioned you're going to have various types of ethnic food there.
Yeah. So we've had Italian, Lebanese, Vietnamese, Mexican, Jewish food, Turkish food.
Now, how about if somebody wants to be a food vendor? Is there still opportunities to get involved at that level?
Yes, for sure. We're very early in the process right now.
Good, yep.
So deadline for applying to be a vendor is early, mid-July.
Yep.
Check the website or email. We'll send you the forms.
Sure,
The forms are going to be online. But
it seems like a really neat event, Josh. You know, like you said, you're bringing together a lot of different groups that probably don't get together otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's kind of neat about it. You know, just to kind of raise awareness of the labor movement. And I think, as you mentioned, it's really important that people understand the whys. You know, I remember my mom worked in, manufacturing in the mills and stuff. And just, the story she would tell you about, you didn't dare be that superstar and try to make 7 shirts when you're only supposed to make 6. Or, or like you said, hey, management would just change the rules, be like, okay, we used to pay you this, and I want to pay you that and stuff. Or my dad was a truck driver, and just, back before they had all these things, they would make you drive 24 hours a day. If you didn't want to drive 24, they'd find someone who did, So, understanding the labor movement and stuff that sometimes we may take for granted or be like, well, I'm a fan or not a fan of this, but until you understand what the role they played in helping get to the 8-hour workday and things like that, the conditions were, really bad back then and stuff. So one more time, Josh, when is the event and how do people learn more about it?
Labor Day, September 5th this year, 2016, on the Lawrence Common. You could come to the website at BrennanRosesHeritage.org. You could also email me at, I'm the vice president, but the email that we're sharing right now is president@BrennanRosesHeritage.org.
Now, how big of a crowd does this draw, Josh?
Over 5,000 guests from around the country, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the only labor and social justice festival like it.
Yeah. Is there other vendor opportunities? People maybe want to get involved? What other types of vendors can you have?
Yep, we have nonprofits, we have businesses, we have community groups even, like some writing clubs. We have food vendors, like we spoke about, arts and crafts vendors of all kinds. We usually get like 15 to 20 vendors, but if more come, then
Sure.
we expand the festival, and that's never a problem.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have
15
and
to
stuff.
20
So.
artists, yeah. So we have
Exactly.
actually up to maybe 40 vendors last year altogether. We did actually have to extend the row a bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sabrina was the vendor coordinator.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Thanks. So, hey, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
So, Sabrina, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about Women's Path to Employment.
Yes.
Tell me, what was your vision? Why did you start it?
So I'm a lifelong resident of Lawrence, and seeing my friends' families grow up struggling financially, I saw, the unemployed, underemployed, low-income population of Lawrence as a population that I could help and create a ripple effect to improve Lawrence, improve the reputation of Lawrence, because as traveling throughout New England, growing up with my parents, when we were asked where you're from and you say Lawrence, you get the groan or you get the sour face and people try to cover it up and be nice. But we know that, that Lawrence has some room for improvement. So using my skills, this is where I felt I could do that.
Now, you started this when you were a college student, right?
Yes, so I started this when I was a student at Merrimack College. I graduated in 2014, so this would be the 5th year. And so I started it because I was studying business management, marketing, had an interest in entrepreneurship, huge interest in my community, and that's when I was able to meet the Sandbox, Merrimack Valley Sandbox, now E4All, to go through their Campus Catalyst program and their accelerator program to get, brush up on my skills and even get a little bit more of the nonprofit side, because my schooling at Merrimack was a little bit more on the for-profit, so I was trying to balance that out.
Yeah, I know, like I said, we were able to have a good laugh with each other the other night because I knew you when you were just a girl with a dream. And, it's funny to be able to watch your vision expand and stuff, and it's amazing watching your confidence grow, because we joked the first time you spoke, you were looking at me like, don't make me speak.
Yeah.
And then you came back out, a few months later, and I'm like, is that the same girl?
Yeah.
Because, what comes out when I talk to you is your passion. Because the task you took on is humongous.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. But I think back to my corporate days, and you're so on. That's why what's attracted me to you is we would interview people, and if you showed up and you really weren't wearing the right outfit, you weren't prepared for interview questions, you were trying to make that leap into the banking environment, and just so often it would be like just not a match because nobody educated them. I've seen it. You're like, well, why did you wear that outfit? Well, because I didn't know any better. No one told me I should have dressed up. I thought it was just wear whatever I had on that day.
Right.
But it was just enough to, like, oh, if that's what you're wearing in the interview, no, it can't be. But sometimes it was just a matter of, innocence. Like you mentioned, they didn't have the family influence or a friend to say, hey, we got to pick out an outfit for you to wear for the interview. So something as simple as that, is and giving people confidence in themselves. I think that's what you're doing. Because we all know, when you're dressed appropriately, you feel a different confidence level. So now let's talk a little bit more about it. So you come up with the idea. Back in the day, you kind of had a closet on campus, right?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to have a space on campus donated to me to store the clothing donations. And so these are all professional clothing, and I basically used my Campus Catalyst seed grant money to transform this into a walk-in closet. Although with that, I was still running this as a mobile service and going out to the clients, going out to the social service agencies, referring the clients and meeting them there to work with them and prepare them for the interview, prepare the outfit that works for them best in terms of the body type, and also like the interview type would be more formal or informal. So yes, the professional clothing is like the primary focus and where it all started. So it's going very well.
So let's fast forward. Where are you now, and how long have you been doing this again?
So this is going to be the 5th year. I say that with the footnote, I guess we'll say that this has been kind of like a student project, a side project for a long time, as I had been a student and working and then doing Women's Path to Employment. And then I did AmeriCorps, which was like more than full-time as well. So now that my 2 service terms with AmeriCorps have ended, I'm able to dive right into Women's Path to Employment and make it where I want it to be. So the newest update, one of the newest updates is now I'm able to go beyond just having storage for the professional clothing to also having, storage, office and appointment space, and even event space as well over at 50 Island Street, the Island Street Studios.
Yep, that's a gorgeous space. It really is. It's so beautiful there. Now, where does the clothing come from?
So all the clothing, shoes, and accessories are from donations from the community. It started out with a group of faculty and staff from Merrimack, and through word of mouth, it's spread out from there. I've actually have not needed to advertise the need for donations in a while. So we have a good inventory right now, but the thing that I run out of the quickest is usually shoes or the bookend sizes, so the more petite sizes than the plus sizes.
Sure, that makes sense and stuff. But it's really neat because of just how much quality clothing is out there.
Yes.
Because you talk to a lot of the female friends and I bought that dress because I liked it until I got it home, then I didn't like it. Or as, guys and gals, we go up, we go down on weight, where it's like I got a lot of really great stuff that 30 pounds ago looked awesome on me. But I have to admit facts, I'm not going to lose those 30 pounds or maybe they lost a lot of weight. And it's like, you know what, Savannah, I don't want that in my closet because I never want to fit into that dress or suit again. So, I find there's a lot of really great stuff out there, that people are looking for home. Because, obviously there's boxes and things like that. But your program is just so much better because I know that I'm going to give this outfit to somebody who's going to wear it, to advance their career. So that's kind of cool and stuff. Now, where do the clients come from?
So right now, all the clients are through referrals, just more for what my abilities are at the moment. So I work with social service agencies and career centers as well to provide professional clothing to their clients. So anyone who wants to become a referral partner, they can review the application on WPTELawrence.com. All the information is up there, and so I wanted to do it as a referral basis first because I know like the social workers, they have their caseload and they know who is at the most need for this service. So it was a way for me to get directly to those in need. And as we grow, hoping to maybe have pop-up shops and other things like that, especially when I have like overstock, to be able to serve those who are not through referrals.
No, but I think it makes perfect sense because I always jokingly call it the field of dreams. If you build it, they'll come. But if you try to just open the doors to everybody, you would be there 24 hours a day. Because the need it's just overwhelming because there's just so many people struggling in that area. They're trying to, get that next job. They're going to school, trying to get skill sets, But want to talk a little bit more about the other things. You help them with interview skills too, right?
Yep, so when I meet with the clients, I take some information, size information beforehand to arrange several outfits so I can present them when we have our appointment together. And during that one-on-one time, I encourage them, prep them, see where they're at with their knowledge and experience about the interview process to see where I can fill in the gaps or what resources I can refer them to if I can't answer a question. But we do the best that we can during the one-on-ones. I have some basic career services background, being a career peer advisor for almost 4 years at Merrimack College, and then just always keeping myself updated as well. So in addition to prepping them during the appointments, I've also created a Facebook and Twitter feed of jobs in the area called Lawrence Area Jobs. So those are all Merrimack Valley area jobs. There's a wide variety of experience levels just because the group has grown to be so big, but I try to keep them local in case people don't have transportation. yeah, try to make it as accessible as I can.
Because like you said, obviously when we start talking, you know, to me at least naturally, I think of younger people. But there's also, you know, other people, and I don't want to call them old, you know, maybe not as young, but they're going through the same career transition.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a job, you've been laid off, which many people have. And I find a lot of people just, well, I worked someplace for 10 years and then I was laid off. I don't remember interviewing, you know, I don't remember the process and stuff. You know, it was one of those, hey, I came out of school and, you know, I was friends with Josh and they were hiring and they hired me.
Yep.
That was their interview process and stuff. So I think, you know, in addition to the clothing, that's a huge important skill to have. Just because if you've never interviewed, you don't know what to expect. And, you know, maybe you talk too little, too much, you know, so just having that skill really makes sense and stuff. So now, talk a little bit more about, you know, the jobs you're sharing. Are you helping people find work too? Like, are you matching people, saying, hey, you told me you were looking for an admin job, I have an admin job?
To a degree, I'm doing part of that. I don't have the capacity to match them with employers, but I put out every so often, like I did 2 weeks ago, I put out there, you know, what kind of jobs are people looking for? What career fields are you looking for? So I can, you know, kind of reconfigure the group and start tailoring it to those inquiries. So I do put out, you know, I listen to the audience and see what they're looking for. It's not exactly one-on-one, but I do provide resources and encourage them to kind of do a little bit of their own research based on what I provide. Which
is good because, like you said, you know, they should have some ambition to get it too and stuff. So what do you need help with?
So as Women's Path to Employment has just moved into this new space and we're able to have events with a few less barriers, a little less runaround now that we can have it in-house. Looking to have film series, looking to have like career panels, lunch and learns, things like that. So I am looking for those who maybe want to be guest speakers or guest panelists. And I would group them by career field and basically make the professionals accessible to the attendees to ask them questions to see if they really want to go into that field or not. Just in, you know, one-on-one time and being able to have.
I really love that idea because that will often happen. Someone will think, you know, oh, I would really like to do this job, and then they speak to someone who's doing it, you know, because sometimes I guess best thing I'd say is we glamorize things. It'd be so great, you know, even running our own business. You know, people, oh, I'd love to have your own business. You work whenever you want, right? You can take as many days off as you want. Yeah, I can, as long as I don't feel like getting paid that day. I can take as many off as I want, you know? You know, but people sometimes, until you do it, you don't realize what's really involved. So I think that's kind of a really cool thing. So crystal ball time, what's the future hold for you?
All right, so yes, again, we're looking to host more events. So looking to have guest speakers, again, to answer your question of what we need help with. We're also looking to expand to men's, maybe late summer or so, because I just understand that this is a more widespread need when you need to have food on the table and a roof over your head. Although there are differences in employing males versus females, we do have to survive, and I want to expand this to men's as well. So that's one aspect, and yeah, I actually was able to outfit Joshua with the blazer and everything, and look at what he already had in his closet to see how I could fit his needs. And we're doing talk shows and stuff, and more casual blazer worked really well. Yep. So yeah.
It's interesting, you know, like you said, when you started to say that, I was like, wow, she brings up a great point. Because often a lot of the clothing programs and things like that are focused on women. Yeah. And to your point, men have the same issue. You know, if you're going on the interview and you don't have the proper attire to wear, you don't answer the interview questions properly. And like I said, in many of the situations that we're interacting with, we need both husband and wife, or a man and woman, whatever the relationship may be, to both be employed. You know, if we help the woman get a job, but the man's not working, still hurting the family. So it's like you said, you know, I agree with you. There's going to be some different challenges and stuff. So now, as far as the panelists, what type of skill sets would you be looking for?
So I think, again, it would be going back to tailoring it to what my audience is interested in. we have a big interest in the health field, actually, right now. I went to the Greater Lawrence Technical School, vocational school, so there were, Allied Health was a popular shop. In addition to, although they had closed it down, fashion shop was actually one of the most successful, like
Yep.
the graduates are
Sure.
one of the most successful groups from the Voc, and so I want to bring them back, and that would be an example of, like a Lawrence resident that made it, or doesn't even have to be a Lawrence resident, just I would like to see who approaches Women's Path to Employment, and see how we can create a panel or a guest speaker series based on that, because
Sabrina, you're not going to have any issues with that. There's a lot of people are going to want to reach out, because I find that a lot of people want to give back. They may have been that person that got into a program like yours. Someone took the time to invest in them and to care about them and give them the proper clothes. And now that they've become successful, that we want to reach back out. So, Sabrina, how do people reach out to you?
you can find us at WPTELawrence.com. On Facebook, we're just facebook.com/Women's Path. Instagram and Twitter, we're Women's Path, so we're pretty easy to find.
So Josh, we got about 2 minutes left. Let's just grab your contact information one more time. Let's talk about the festival one more time. When is it? Where is it? How do people get involved?
The Bread and Roses Heritage Festival happens on every Labor Day. This Labor Day is September 5th at 12 to 5 on the Lawrence Common, the Campagnon Common, across from City Hall. You can call us at 978-309-9740 for more information. You can go to the website. It's breadandrosesheritage.org, and the email is info@breadandrosesheritage.org, or if you want to talk to the president directly, it's president@breadandrosesheritage.org.
And the neat thing right now is you're still looking for everything. We need volunteers for the festival. We need food vendors, pretty much everything is still open at this point in time, because it's still a little bit away, which is a good thing.
Yeah, we got a strong committee of 15 people right now working on things. So if you're going to jump in and to volunteer on the subcommittee, you're going to jump in with people that are experienced. We'll show you the way and work with you. And yes, we definitely still need vendors and performers, and there's plenty of work to be done.
It really, all we're looking for is people with passion for the community. If you want to volunteer, that's all we need to start, right?
Exactly.
And I love that, what we just said, though, because there's a lot of experienced people involved. Because sometimes people are like, I like to help, but don't put me in charge of something my first time and
Going
stuff.
in blind.
Right, but like I said, you get enough people that are experienced at it. As long as you have the passion and want to get involved and make a difference in your community. Perfect way to end the show.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Today on the show we have my friend Dr. Frank Yeager.